Hi there, and welcome to the Family of One Child podcast. I'm For Comment, a wife, a part-time working mom, and a full-time believer in making the most of every joyful and sometimes busy moments of raising an only child. If you're ready for real stories, plenty of laughter, and parenting tips, you're in the right place. So let's dive into this adventure together. So, what is today's topic that we are going to talk about? Well, I should say we have finally moved. We had a horse and we were doing barn chores on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday because we're a part of a co-op. And so our pony, we had been leasing her. No, sorry, we have not been leasing. We just started with leasing, but it wasn't leasing. We ended up purchasing, and she's a Wallara, and that's half Welsh and Arabian. So we ended up moving her to this barn, and it's super nice, but we lease on the property. That's what I'm trying to say. And so we were there since Olivia was 2.5 and now she's 8. And so how we started, Olivia started doing lessons. And then eventually after a few years, the owner of the horse said, would you like to lease her? And we're like, okay, what does that mean? Leasing is where we fully don't own the horse, but you get to ride the horse anytime you like. You get to visit the horse anytime you like. Well, the only thing if she's having lessons, we wouldn't be able to ride her. But also we get to purchase some of the feed. We would go halves with her hay, her grain, and also half with her, I think it was the farrier, any of some of the medical bills. So it's half. We would half with the owner. And the owner was still there. She was still Olivia's horse trainer. And so we would still have her around teaching our family about the horse, about taking care of the horse, and that was always available 24/7. And so that was great. And then after a few years of leasing, then she asked us if we would want to purchase the horse. And that is how we ended up with Lola and Olivia. And so from there, we have been at the barn. So it's about 6 years. And most of those years, we have been doing barn chores. When we were first just coming in for riding lessons, we did not do the barn chores. We didn't take care of any other horses. We just come in and, we would help out a little bit here and there, but not fully go gung-ho. Come in, nighttime, cold time, snow time, hot time, bug time. Oh my goodness, I tell you what. And so now we have, because Olivia, we ended up, Olivia wanted to learn and be in a group setting for, riding horses. And we wanted to give you the opportunity to be in a group. Because at that time, like most times when Olivia was little, it would be like a individual, a lesson 1-on-1. And it's only because at that time, our trainer, she didn't have a lot of group lessons. She just did not have that. So as Olivia got older, she said, I really enjoy being in a group and learning in a group. And I wondered, is it because she's we only have an only child and she just loved interacting and learning with other kids her age who also loved horses. And so I decided, what? And also, in another incident too, she fell off the horse. That's another episode. So I said, sure. And yeah, she fell off but 2 times. So I will talk about that a lot later in a different episode altogether. So I looked around and I found a lady who lives 40 minutes away from us. and she has a barn, and she has a wonderful, and absolutely, again, horse program, and she starts with a mummy and me class. So if you're you're for like looking for something, to do with your child, I hope that you have something in your community where you're able to participate with your only child, or maybe you might have to travel, but for us, it's 40 to 45 minutes one way to go and travel to take Olivia to her class. But once she decided, yeah, this is something I really enjoy doing in a group, I'm still learning about horses and I'm still loving it. We felt that it was something that we wanted to invest in, because when you're not only with how she is learning about the horses, but there's so many good principles and disciplines. And also, it just helps her to be more confident. And we've seen her grow in so many areas. And so, yeah, we ended up having an opportunity to move Lola out from the barn, which is like practically 10 to 15 minutes down from our house. And because we're a part of that co-op, to 40 minutes away to be with Olivia. And it had been some time. I think it was about 2 years, maybe 2 years. And Olivia, she was, growing, getting more confident in her cantering and trotting, and her skills and her equestrian skills were really developing, but yet she was not riding with her horsey. And one other thing is because Lola, she's a good horse, but she didn't have certain skills for like a rider to be on, unless you were an equestrian and you've been riding for some time. Because Lola, she'll just do her own thing, and it's not her fault. It's just that some of the skills that she needed, or she hadn't had any lessons anymore. She's just like, I'm gonna just go and trot and do my own. Just gonna go, and if you're able to talk to me, sure. If not, I'll tell you what to do. So with Olivia, we wanted her to be safe as well and enjoy her time and not freak out every time she was on Lola. And because of where we were, they didn't have an indoor arena anymore. And so it was an outdoor arena. So we couldn't always ride Lola. And the outdoor place where she was, the paddock, was a lot smaller because, and there's other horses there as well. So we felt like eventually Lola and Olivia would be together anyway. This is one of those things, And I said to my husband, well, maybe Lola's going to be a support horse. She's not going to be a horsey to ride on. It'll just be like a petting horse. And I I couldn't believe I was saying this. So if you're a mom and you have a horse, my husband goes, excuse me? We purchased this horse so our child could eventually ride on it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I was thinking, what is the point of doing barn chores and our child is 40 minutes away, learning and growing and riding on every other horse? Like, you put her on another horse, she'll ride it, she'll go, she'll grow. But with her own horse, she is not developing and riding her horse, which seems silly, right? You're probably like, yeah, it seems silly. So we decided now she's ready. And the reason why we waited too, because when Olivia fell off the second time, she did not want to get Lola. She didn't want to get back on Lola, although she did when she fell off straight away. But when we would try over the few months, just slowly getting her back on, getting back to the basics with that, holding on to the lead rope and just walking, she was just so afraid that it was not enjoyable. And so we had to, and then it's almost like she had a little break from riding horses because she's just down on about, this is not going well. And Lola could feel the tension, like, what's going on with my little girl? I know she's afraid. And I just tell you what, it's almost like, okay, first let's get Olivia back on track. Let's get her to love horses the way she loves it, riding. And then when she's all good to go, we will get Lola, find a place and put them together and have a trainer who understands, who is wanting to work with both of them. So we have found a trainer and she is wonderful. Her name is Anne Cole and she has a training center and she also has trainers. And so what they do is, at the moment, they're just working with Lola. So we're not even having Lola and Olivia, Olivia ride on Lola. Right now, Lola's in training, and then they're going to do the assessment. And then after that, after the assessment, and it could be some time till Lola has whatever the skills she needs to, they'll let us know. But as we're going to visit her throughout the week, Lola's doing, you can see she is improving. And what I mean by that, when you walk her out and I see Olivia and then she's holding on to a lead rope and when she asks you to stop, she'll stop. Now, sometimes when back in the old Lola, if you keep going and walking, will she stop? She'll just keep going and you have to say, Lola. But yeah, and there's other things that if you ask Lola to do, she'll do. I mean, she is a good horse, but and if you see Anne horses, they are amazing. And so Lola is catching on. And there was one time we went to go and visit Lola, the second week she was there, we're giving her apples. And then when it was time to go, we turned around and she just gave us that look like, okay, I'm done with this nonsense. Can I please go back to my barn, my old barn, and just hang out? And why is this relevant to having a child of one? It's because when you are picking an activity, or maybe your child is wanting to learn something, it could be a sport, it could be drama class, it could be something. It takes time, and if they really enjoy it, you just see it in their, some people say their warehouse, it's their path, it's their, it just fills them up. But you need to find the trainers or the people that are able to teach your child in the way that is good for them, because there are many people who are, for example, very good at what they do, like for example horse trainers, but I look for certain trainers that are able to communicate in a way that they will receive teachable moments for me, because I am their parent. You're the parent, and so it takes a lot of people to raise a child, right? Okay, in a village. So with Olivia in her equestrian sport, when I'm engaging with the trainer and they're talking in such a way to my child, and I know she hasn't got it, and she's just frustrated, and now afterwards I'll say, oh yeah, that was awesome. But Olivia, the reason why she's saying this, because she doesn't understand that word or understand that concept. So you can say it in 57 ways, but you can say it 57 times or 10 times or 8 times, the same words, but she's not going to understand the word because maybe we haven't introduced it, or a new concept, or even I'm confused. What are you trying to say? So once I tell them that, and if like the trainers that we have, they're like, oh, okay, then I'll say it this way. It goes, yeah, but if they end up, and if they keep saying no, this is the way I explain it, this is the way it is, this is the way it's gonna be, all the time, I'm like, I will give them time, like, okay, but after a while, and after means 2 or 3 times, because you pay for the lessons, and the lessons are not cheap. No matter what, I'm like, hey, in my mind, I'm going to be looking for someone else, because I need, my child has She loves and she will listen. Like, your child, when they love doing something, they want to listen, they want to learn. But if there's a teacher and they're just not speaking their language or they are not teachable themselves, then forget it. I'm going to like move on. I am happily to move on to someone else, an adult who is teachable as well. Because we spend all our time with our child, with our only child, and then we are communicating with them. We're learning their heart. We're learning how they learn things. And so I feel like I'm really good. I mean, I'm still learning about Olivia. Like, I am still learning different stages. But I know, like, when your child's like, I really don't understand, but I'm trying to grasp what I'm trying to do. And as a parent, you're like, okay, I hear a struggle. This is what they're really asking. And Olivia's like, oh, got it. And I'm like, yeah. And so once you get that community and those kind of communications and the trust, it's really a trust because I think my husband will say, okay, you're going to come across kind. And I'm like, I'm always going to come across kind. I'm always going to say it in a kind way. And believe, I have been in situations where I could just naturally tell just by the body language, this person's probably thinking I have many parents or some other telling me I'm not doing good. No, I'm going to say you're doing good and you're doing great. It seems like you're blah, blah, blah. And I love it could you do it this way? And the reason why, something like that. It's always nice. But has there been a time where it has not been good? Oh yeah. Like, this mama just gone off a rocket. I'm like, oh, I better bring it back down to earth because if this rocket keeps going, it's about to go to a different universe. Oh my goodness. So the point is, whenever you're talking to another adult, no matter who it is, and they're trying to explain to you that that you don't understand your child, I will say, no, I don't agree with that. Because you and your husband, you absolutely love your child and you know them best because you're with them 24/7 okay, other than that at school or wherever, and you're praying for them and you're encouraging them and you're really, you're just wanting the best. And they probably want the best too, but it's a partnership. It's a friendship. So that's another thing I just want to continue to encourage you. Just trust your instincts. Trust the Holy Spirit and trust yourself. And you know what? You're a mom, so hello. You're the one that dropped your child off and you're working part-time. And then you gotta go, depending on what your child's involved in. Olivia, she has tried other activities like dancing and gymnastics, and she would have gone back to gymnastics, but it was just the timing, like gymnastics and dancing, I think, were the same time. And I said, you got to pick one because you can't do both at the same time. And it was so cute to see her both activities. But horsing, horse hobby, oh my goodness. I wish it was, if there was someone that could tell me more about horse hobbies. Like if you're a mom and your child is into horse hobbying, you have got to reach out to me because Olivia, and she loves horses. I mean, is that hobby horses? Yeah, I think it's hobby horses. Yeah. She loves to jump over things. Like she will create her own horse hurdles. And that girl would just leap around and jump around and leap over this. And as we were training last week with our trainer, Jeremy and Olivia in the morning doing our 30 minutes exercises. And then at the end, he set up this jumping obstacle course. And then she was just jumping over them like it was nothing. And she wanted, and then he made a little bit of a correction, like, Olivia, just do this. And she's just jumping higher. And he was like, huh, she's really good. It just comes natural. And I'm like, yeah, because she's so into hobby horses. Jumping hurdles is not like, she just loves it. The higher, the better. She'll go for it. And he was like, hurdles. And I was like, oh, yeah, hurdles as a sport. I didn't think about it. And then I was saying, oh, darling, in high school, I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know when they introduced hurdles, but I said, in high school, I'm sure they do hurdles, or maybe in college, I'm not sure, hurdles. And she goes, oh, can I take my hobby horse with me? And I was like, I don't think when in the sport of hurdles that they will be taking, that you can take your hobby horse. But isn't that, who knows? Who knows from 20 years from now, hurdles, there'll be hurdles and there'll be hobby horse hurdles. Oh my goodness. If hobby horse hurdles, my daughter would be so into that. Maybe I could just see it now in the Olympics. Hobby horse hurdles. She would have a blast with it. Oh, she loves to run fast. She loves to leap like a horse. I remember there was one time, when other children was running, she was galloping. And I was looking at her and I said, well, that's one way. I wonder if that's always the style that she's just going to run. So it was like, but it was really funny because I was watching YouTube and I was watching these children run and it was a relay. And I heard this father, he was yelling out to his daughter and he was like, start running like a horse, just run, run. And I was laughing because I thought, oh, I remember that stage when they were little and they're kind of like galloping. Is it trotting or galloping? But they're not running like I don't know, like a Tom Cruise runner, like galloping. And I was laughing. I was like, I remember that 100%. Yeah. But if you look at me, what is my style of running? I mean, is it? Is it really running? It could be fast walking. It could be like, okay, my trainer described me, I've improved my running because I took such small steps, like very small, like a ballerina slash kind of want to be very small, like you're tiptoeing, but you're not. And he goes, oh, you've improved so much, Ruth, for that you're now taking longer strides. Because whereas before, you were like very small, very small. I was like, I've come a long way in how my body moves. Oh my goodness. And so, just enjoy the process. If your baby is still, a little baba or a toddler and you're wondering what kind of adventures or interests they have, I would say if you can, just and you have the resources and maybe you have the activities in your community, or even if you are able to do it yourself, I would say create it. For me, like once again with horses, we were very blessed that we have a community that we could go and visit farms in our local area, in our park. So we had like uh, a a riding club that was not too far from our local park, one of them, our local parks. And you had to pass the riding school to get to the park. And so we would always see the horses. And so we would just go up to the fence and, I start looking around like, oh, who owns this farm? Who owns this school? And usually if it's a school, they'll be advertising it, or if a farm. And knock on the door or call the phone number and see how you can volunteer. Volunteering is a good way to get your foot in a business or, an organization that you want to know more about for your child or even for yourself. And you're a good volunteer. When you're volunteering, take the time. Maybe and find something you can do together with your child. That way you can both learn at the same time. So I always like volunteering if I want to find something that's benefit for me and Olivia, that is fun and that you both can do the task together. Because, if it's just, unless you want to do something for yourself, like you want to I just want to volunteer for myself. Well, that's good. Because you need me time, right? Me time is very important. So I just want to encourage you about when you're going into and you're meeting with other adults and you're talking to them and you're engaging and you want to know if this would be a good fit for them to teach your child with you, and a good way that you would know if they are willing to, one, form a friendship and also listen to what you have to say. If those things resonate with you and they're teachable, meaning they have teachable heart, because you've got to be teachable first. As I'm saying this, it'd be a good idea that you are teachable because you want to have that friendship. I'm always open for people to share, what they have, and if they offer way better solutions or steps, or I'm open to listen to it. But I also want them to listen when it's my turn, because that's what a friendship is, right? It's a trust. It's both give and take. And so, and when it comes to my child, I don't apologize. I mean, yes, not really. And, if I don't go, I'm like, no. And then I'll think about it, chew on it. I'm like, okay, then maybe I just needed a chocolate. Who knows what my attitude was. And if I need to apologize, I will always apologize. So, but don't be too hard on yourself. You're learning too with your only child. And so I want to make sure that you are, encouraging yourself. You're taking the time to say nice things. Really take the time to be kind. Take the time to, that means just to do something nice, whatever that nice is. And nice for people could be different. Some of the nice people could be going back to sleep. One of the nice is just taking 5 minutes, or even like, oh, man, I don't know. You just want to have a different kind of hairspray. I mean, mine now, I'm going through a coconut hairspray, coconut shampoo, maybe because I'm Pacific Islander. Coconut, it's very nice, but it's a nice kind of coconut. It's not, for me, coconut's nice anyway. And so, and someone gave me a hug and they said, "Oh, you smell so nice. Nice. You got a nice smell of coconut." I was like, "Thanks." Because when you hug other women and they smell so good, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to hug someone. I smell good too. So I just want to say thank you for listening. You are amazing. You truly are. You truly are. So remember, if you want a friend, you got to be a friend. And to be a friend, start with yourself first. God loves you. This is for. Thank you for listening to the Family of One podcast. See you in the next episode. I don't know why I say see you in the next episode, because I can't see you, but you're in my heart. I'm holding you in my heart. Take care. Bye.